their tank slot. And normally you'd be like, okay, Hardy can play pretty much everything, but they did struggle when it came to the D.Va recently, when it was basically perma D.Va. You can't play anything else before the small nerf and the armor nerf too. So yeah, being able to swap in and out, they just seem too powerful to me right now. I don't think there's many teams that can really step up to them, especially in this group.
True. All right, we're talking about SSG. Let's take a look at their roster. I mean, actually, no. Before we go into SSG, yeah, Ex Oblivione. Let's talk about them first, and then we'll go into SSG.
Yeah, so the Ex Oblivione match versus SR Peak Check was super interesting yesterday because SR Peak Check, going into these matches, you kind of know what they're going to play. Elvish Cloudy's going to be on the Reinhardt. You're going to have the rest of the team that's going to be working around that to actually support that Reinhardt. So Ex Oblivione, I think they had their work cut out for them in terms of how are we going to actually approach this? But knowing that you're playing SR Peak Check maybe gives them a little bit of an advantage in terms of being able to prepare a little bit to have to play the Reinhardt. So they brought out an Ana and a Juno backline. And I'm really interested to see if we're going to see that again from Captain Prash and Tekuno, because it was so strong. You got the nades to power next to just the huge spikes and speed that you're going to be getting. And then the rest of the team to round it out. I think they just have a really good cohesion from these players.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, Jack, what do you think about SSG? I mean,
it's SSG. Like,
True.
now it's crazy to see Hardy on the bench, by the way. Like, it's a little bit insane, but I think adding KSA is kind of ridiculous. They can now play pretty much every tank role. They can play pretty much any comp under the sun, especially with like backbone and stuff. I mean, this team is just too good. Retooling kind of going into stage 4, and then already being at what, like 900 points or something silly in the point standings. They've almost guaranteed themselves, if not already like locked themselves in for Stockholm. This is going to be, in my opinion, just probably a straight up 3-0, but we've seen crazier things. One man army with a nice little full of hold against VP. I mean, hey, could that happen with Ex Oblivione?
Is it going to be a 3-0? We'll find out soon. But hey, I feel like, oh yeah, a lot of fans, SSG fans, 91% versus 9%. Yeah, it is definitely, I feel like, going to be an uphill battle for Ex Oblivione, and we're not alone. We got 91% of fans on our side. But hey, we'll find out. The match is going to start now, guys. Go ahead.
Thanks, Danny. Doing the best job, as always, Danny. You are the best. One of my favorite human beings alive, that is for sure. Right, let's get into the series. SSG, Space Station Gaming versus Ex Oblivione. Like you mentioned, Rose, kind of a recombined roster. We've had a big roster shuffle over the past few weeks going into stage 4, but of course SSG, one of the powerhouses in EU, don't need to reduce the player numbers. They've increased it, added more flexibility, more diversity in their hero pools. Let's have a look at the map pool as well. With SSG going to something like Nepal, it's probably just going to be a Juno, Brig, Angle in the backline. Astro pretty well adapt at the Brigitte and pretty much, and the Juno too, right? You're thinking Astro, you think speed hero. So, you know, Landon can also play pretty much whatever they so choose. So if they wanted to go something like a Juno and an Ana, but it's probably going to be the Brig. I just don't see SSG losing this one at all.
I don't either.
I'm willing to be proven wrong.
I think we're always very excited when we get a chance to see a closer match than what we expect, but I also think it would be disingenuous to say that this could be a close match because SSG have been a powerhouse team for a reason. And especially when you have noticed bringing KSA into the roster, not only do we get a chance to see more flexibility from Landon outside of playing the Baptiste that he is so good at, really excited to see that he has worked really hard to get the Brigitte, get the Kiriko up to snuff. But then you've got KSA, they can play the Ramacha, play the D.Va, play the Mauga. All three of these heroes are very, very strong in this meta at the moment, and he can switch at the drop of a hat just to fit whatever it is that he feels like he's gonna have to play. But I think D.Va is one of his absolute strongest heroes, and it would surprise me a lot to see KSA switch, unless it feels like it really does call for it on the other side.
Yeah, I think D.Va is still really strong. Like, at the end of the day, she still has a ridiculous matrix. Yeah, the armor got nerfed, but it's still incredibly tough to deal with. Quick TP forward. Completely different look here on the other side of things. Skytor on the Ram, but yeah, as expected, it's going to be the Brig and the Juno in the backline for both teams. Same with the DPS, so it's only a small tank difference there.
Yeah, and when we saw SkyTour play yesterday, it was actually a lot of Winston to play into the Reinhardt and just the rest of that composition. So the Ramatra here, a little bit of a different look from SkyTour and this team in general. But I think they're going to have to think about whether or not that Ramatra is actually the right thing, because they just got run over by this Diva.
Yeah, it's good to see KSA back in. Back in the OWCS as well, of course. The last team was Twisted Minds, and that was the roster that did end up winning in Stage 1. And off the back of his tank play a lot of the time. Obviously, back off the TPs as well, with Yubi kind of blinking everybody around, but it is nice to see KSA back in and on an extremely strong team as well. All right, we'll see what Zoro can attempt to do. A few walls thrown in here by Backbone to stop Zoro getting some angles, but look at the presence of mind here from KSA, just perma looking at Zoro. Although Landon ended up going down first. All the best of starts. SkyTour locked in a corner. That's at least a small trade, but now Zoro pretty much the whole field to play with on this Ashe.
Oh, this Ashe is just going to keep farming. I think this is the hardest part about the Diva, is that you have to be able to lock down an Ashe, but you also have to be able to help peel for the rest of your team. But yeah, that Blizzard's beautiful. That's kind of what we are expecting to see out of Maze, is when you have that Blizzard online, it should be a fight closer. Especially knowing that Captain Crash doesn't have the rally up yet, but there's also maybe not even enough speed to actually get the whole team out of the area of effect of that Blizzard.
Nice stagger as well onto SXJ. I knew he was pretty close to ult anyway, so I wasn't really too afraid of giving him that extra 10-15% on that one. Just force it into almost a final fight as we see SkyTour waiting for the mate to respawn. 80% and counting, but with these mate combos, these fights take a long time, so this is pretty much final. No like crazy speed here. I can't imagine KSA is going to want to give up this high ground too easily.
Oh, look at that, even just delaying the drop down. You've got the Juno Hyper Ring as well to make sure that KSA can actually get the collapse.
Hey, KSA doesn't want to mess with that though. Blizzard coming in, already used the thrusters, good freeze onto the Diva. Can the baby Diva stay alive? No, SXJ instantly taking that one down. Bob comes in. It's a 5v5 if you count the Bob. The Annihilation, the rally, pretty much everything thrown in from Space Station, but Funny Astro is going to go down first to a headshot of Zoro. SXJ2 just pummeling that shield, helping SkyTour get that damage in. Landon falls, an expensive fight for both sides. There's a Space Station now, make a quick swap as well, actually going over to the Mauga.
Yeah, we know that KSA can bring this out, and the Mauga into the Ramatra, they run him down, mow him down. Like, this is gonna be a very difficult fight for Ex Oblivione to win, knowing that even just the Bob might get collapsed here. This cardiac overdrive can be so powerful just to allow this team to actually brawl it out, and then you know that Backbone is building up to that Blizzard. A couple more icicles, and that should be a team fight win and a round win.
I mean, this was the pick as well that KSA won that stage 1 on as well. This Mauga. Blizzard comes in. SkyTour's already in the wrong side of the fight. Completely isolated himself from the rest of the team. The ball from Zoro, not sure where it is right now, and I think Space Station don't really care where it is either. Point flip comes in for SSG. SkyTour swapping over to Doom, try and get back, but it's only Captain Thrash with 10% away towards that rally. It's got to stay alive, but slowly but surely Ex Oblivione getting picked off. Funny Astro Langio. Nice little final blows there. Make that 3, in fact. The kick to the face on Takuno. Look how close those support ultimates were for Ex Oblivione. 4% and 2% away from that orbital rate and rally.
Oh, that's so painful to see, because I think if either of those come online, that could be an extension of this map for Ex Oblivione, but we're going to be going over to Sanctum, and maybe get a chance to see another one of the pocket picks from KSA. We've talked about the Diva, we've talked about the Mauga, as well as this Ramatra that KSA can play, but what about the Queen? What about the Queen?
Yeah, I really like the Queen right now as well. Extremely fast comp. Shout gives a lot of sustain in the front line as well. Something that Korea's been running a fair bit. Be too surprised to see that, to be fair. A little bit of Ramatra. Landon switching over to Kiriko too. And yes, okay, more Hanzo.
I love it.
Awesome.
Yeah, Hanzo can headshot again. Hanzo can headshot one shot, I guess is what we should really be saying. And so Sparker absolutely has this Hanzo that you can pull out of the back pocket. And already pushing everybody back as Backbone also sort of plays a take role. See?
Oh, there it is. Old Hanzo is back, everybody.
Bye-bye.
You loved him or hated him. Unfortunately, he's here to stay, for at least for the time. I did see in the dev comments, like, well, I'll summarize it for you. Hanzo kind of sucked that he couldn't one-shot. We're bringing it back.
That's a good summarization of the patch notes, I think. I love those dev notes. I really like knowing their thought process behind a lot of the different changes that they're making to each hero. I do wonder whether or not they're going to walk back the fact that Hanzo can one-shot headshot.
Thank God I'm not around those dev notes, that's for sure.
Yeah.
One, I can't spell, and two, yeah, they were a bit more straight to the point.
Oh gosh.
All right, a bit of Ash here as well for Zoro again. Was thinking about something else for a brief moment there, but I mean, this is just Landon playing on a rather devious off angle on the Kiri. Okay, SXJ with a nice little double tap there onto Backbone. Maybe wishing Landon wasn't on this off angle. Chooses himself. Nice body shot there from Sparker. I mean, come on. This Kiriko and Hanzo in the sidelines.
Disgusting.
The kunai headshots and the arrows, not exactly something you want to mess with. All right, the Annihilation is going to come through from KSA as well. Ex Oblivione do end up flipping the point. Nice block as well. Popped from SXJ, even that Blizzard. KSA frozen up. Nice little boot there from the coach gun, but that snowball's not connecting with KSA, but they still managed to run him down regardless. As Space Station get the quick flip. Only 10% for Ex Oblivione. And with their tank coming back, they might be able to make this fight a little bit more even, a little bit more in their favor, but with Zoro falling, there's a whole lot less damage. And then Landon almost ripping the rush. And then, yeah, okay, just throwing every ult in. You got to take and hold this point now. Ex Oblivione, they got nothing in this fight at all. Captain Brash, yeah, with that rally. Couldn't quite get back to the team in time. The Space Station, they're going to be holding still.
I think you're okay with using the Blizzard and the Rush there because I don't necessarily think you want to layer the Rush and the Orbital Ray. It just feels like you're almost overdoing it a little bit. Like you only get so much mobility speed, you only get so much healing and damage buff. So I love that you've got the Dragons now to split up the team and you've got the Orbital Ray to try to pick up the rest.
Oh, nice headshot on the main. 1 HP. Hits the Sonic. Another body shot. Spark has to get the mega health back though.
Oh, they don't touch!
And they don't touch. Okay. Well. It happens, okay? Especially when Rose is on the broadcast. There was a wall, however, I will say.
I know, I saw the May wall.
The wall came up. But I would still call that a little Charlie Niner.
Like a mini C9, like a lowercase C9.
Mini C9, yes. And yeah, that's almost 2 we've had today on that Midtown as well versus one.
We can't call that. We can't.
Well, we're close. You're on the broadcast, so we have to call it that. SSG with a little 2-0 there to start off the series. I like seeing Sparker on the Hanzo, I really do. I'm kind of glad we're seeing a little bit more Hanzo back in the mix. A lot of flexibility in the DPS roles and the tanks right now. Yeah, I mean, this is just SSG doing SSG things. They can even run Hardy if they really want to. Just run the Ryan. It'll be fun. Be a good time.
Oh, please give me SR Peak Check versus Space Station.
The honorable
please.
1v1.
It's all I
Ryan.
want. Exhibition match if you have to. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, we're in Stockholm, so you know, a short hop from Finland. So maybe we can get that popping.
We actually worked that out. Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun.
Oh boy, there's gonna be so few teams that can actually hold a candle to the type of synergy that Space Station have worked on throughout the course of so many years. I mean, even just looking at the core of the roster that this team has kept from the Overwatch League days on London Spitfire, adding in a new Lucio player, Funny Astro, taking up that role, and even though it feels a little bit weird to add in yet another player in a meta that is so macro heavy, KSA has so much experience being able to play on some of the top teams as well, as you noted on Twisted Minds, that like it just feels like the perfect slot in for the roster. Not only was it just that you have that experience playing with so many good players, but you also were playing in the Brawl days. You fit right in. There's any team that knows Brawl, is Space Station.
Oh yeah, they know Brawl. That's for sure. And they can even play Brawl with Malga as well now. I mean, they're looking good, looking real nice. And I just saw at the very end there, as we reviewed the clip, we VOD reviewed that clip, the wall came up and then I think Skytor was either on one side of the, maybe they broke the pillar, but I saw also his body kind of being launched off the edge. So probably a little whip shot from the brig. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I think you brushed that one off. You're like, okay, whatever. We maybe C9 there a little bit, but it's still Space Station. Still Space Station. Yeah. Their map choice now. So yeah, we'll see where we want to go. But I think every time we kind of look at the groups in each individual stage, well, maybe not stage 1 so much, because there was a lot of like new and unknowns as we just moved into the OWCS format. But as we kind of got later, stage 2, stage 3, and now stage 4, we kind of know what teams are going to be at the top of the group. Space Station being one of them, ENCE, Virtus Pro, like the teams we're seeing potentially win straight up here. Here is the map pool on your screens. Of course, Watchpoint Gibraltar was something we've not seen in quite a hot minute. It was played a little bit yesterday. That'll be a lot of dive there. So maybe we do see that come through for this series, because SkyTour has played a lot of Winston in the past. And if they don't want to mess with that brawl, maybe that's somewhere they want to go. It's actually going to be a Runasapi pick.
Well, they did play Runasapi yesterday, and they played the Winston. They actually put the Winston on all 3 maps, so SkyTour could absolutely still bring out the Winston in this series, but it kind of depends on whether or not they feel like the rest of the DPS can round that out. And I don't know if Space Station is necessarily the same type of team that you could get the jump on with the Dive. Dive can be very powerful into something like Juno, but it's not just Juno you have to deal with on this Space Station team. You've got a Mei, you've got like Ash and Hanzo from Sparker, and then KSA might just run you over with a D.Va anyway.
Keeping KSA in as well, keeping Backbone in, more Mei, more Queen, more, well, whatever KSA wants to play, to be honest with you. Anything that's not the Ryan, pretty much. Even play the Ram. KSA, a very all-rounder player, a very big addition to Space Station. I was speaking to Astro a few days ago, just talking about kind of KSA coming into the roster, and they're all extremely happy with how well-rounded their team is, and how much, even potential there to take some of the Korean teams, I mean, that's the big thing, I think, for a lot of North American and EU teams right now going into Stockholm. These top dogs, they want to be able to take it to Crazy Raccoon, to Team Falcons, right? That's the real challenge at the end of this rainbow. Let's have a look at Space Station though. KSA running the Ram, Backbone on the Venture.
I like this. I like this a lot. I think that the Backbone can have a lot of purchase if you're able to get the jump onto the backline, and even if it's not necessarily to try to get the damage down. Look at the wraparound angle that he's got. SkyTour's dead.
Yeah, 6 feet under, exactly. Yeah, really nice. The Venture's pretty nice into the Mei as well. Very, very hard to lock down the Venture at best of times. That wall is not going to do the trick. You can't, unfortunately, you can't burrow under the wall. Impossible. Not sure why, If you are under the ground, technically the wall is only over ground. Hey, I'm not game designer, I don't know, but it's pretty easy to get around that. You burrow, you go around the wall, you can even jump over it, right? Backbone's gonna have a pretty easy time dealing with Ex Oblivione. Only problem is you have to deal with the Brig, which can be quite frustrating with the whip shots, but if he can get anywhere near Zoro, which he's looking at right now. Yeah, enforcing these cooldowns. It's gonna be tough for Ex Oblivione's front line to stay alive.
Well, I mean, Brig is already getting chunked here. They have to turn their attention to the Venture rather than actually what's happening on the front line.
Quick heals there coming through. Captain
Crash. Getting bullied.
Who's on fire right now is Backbone, yeah. Just unhindered by Ex Oblivione. They're still going to fight this one by the looks of it. Orbital Ray has come out, and they're more than happy to. Annihilation, nice little whip shot. KSA now crossing his arms. And here comes the return Orbital Ray from Funny Astro. A Vortex there to stop SkyTour fleeing the fights. Even that Drill Dash dude to push him into a spot where he cannot be healed. Space Station using 2 ults in that one, and yeah, happy to fight into the Orbital Ray Tekuno, apparently. And that is checkpoints.
Well, it's not so bad because I think you weren't really terrified of whatever follow-up could come through there from the Orbital Ray. And when you're able to clap back with your own Annihilation, I mean, KSA has been so good at being able to convert that ultimate over to value. You get the checkpoint for it as well.
SkyTour's in trouble. Has to pop the Annihilation for some additional sustain, as well as Camprash jumping down into the fight. Pops the rally. Couple of trades, it's landed, ends up falling down, but Funny Astro, rather elusive on the Juno, is able to stay alive and actually take the high ground control away from Ex Oblivione. They still have to clean this fight up, though, do Space Station. They eventually find Captain Prash, who's caught out. And then Sparker, well, Sparker, not really seen too much POV from Sparker, but trust me, doing damage, putting in work. 7 minutes to go. The SHJ and Ex Oblivione, they're just getting basically forced into various little 1v1s, little 2v2s, and Space Station are winning them.
A lot of what's happening too is that Backbone is finding a target and pushing them into the rest of the team. And there is an unfortunate warm embrace of death waiting for them on the other side of that drill dash.
Oh, here comes Bob. And there's Backbone in the back line. It's already hit the burrows, just going to use it in the doorway by the looks of it. It's going to be able to get out with another dash. But this is available from Ex Oblivione, but they're losing this game. 125 meters to go. They need to do something. Orbital rays coming through. Backbone first to die, eventually felled. Finally, the Venture is dead. Sky Tour with a nice couple of kills as well as Ex Oblivione. 125 meters to 0. They've got a long way to go. They better have a full tank of gas, fresh oil change, new tires. They got to have everything to come back into this one because Space Station almost ran away with that one, almost got full cap.
This is still going to be very difficult to come back from. You haven't even started to make progress entering into the Space Station side of the map, and they're coming back with an Annihilation. They're going to have yet another Tectonic Shock, which was not difficult to actually land that damage down onto the team, even though you do have these shields from the Rumatra and the Brig. Backbone is dead, so that's nice here for Ex Oblivione to try to get on the board.
A really good start there. SHA playing defense mode now on the mate. Walls off the Annihilation. Oh, wow, that was the shortest Annihilations I think I've ever seen. SHA not able to take anybody out thanks to a nice wall. All right, Rally's going to get deployed too. Ex Oblivione know they have to win this fight to get the snowball rolling in their favor. A good kill on to the Ramatra 2. Should mean they're going to push this bot down the hill. Space Station trying to escape with their lives so they can get a quick regroup. And they're going to escape successfully. You can even come up with the kill onto Zoro. Lured straight into the wilderness. His entire bank is now in the back pocket of Backbone. 5 minutes to go now as Backbone pushes Sky Tour away. And that single kill there is going to mean Space Station are going to be able to continue this fight, Rose.
You're already forcing out the block from the Mei as well as she gets pushed back into the rest of the team. And Funny Astro is definitely not one of those players that's going to leave that elimination on the table. You're going to see Takuno barely able to get away, but all the while, you don't have that healing to be able to keep Sky Tour up and active in this fight. So Space Station, yeah, I mean, they come back into this one very happy. You got SXJ now switching over to the Venture. KSA is going to come back out onto the Mauga. So a couple of hero changes that are going to happen to head into this next fight. But Sparker is so excited to go on one of his coveted off angles with this Ashe, try to throw the Bob in there, and also steal a health pack.
Oh,
disgusting.
Dirty shot there from Sparker. Used that coach gun, the Bob, to get away from Zoro, and the Bob did the rest. Knocked him up. Easy kill for the Ashe. Just sliced him up into meat and served him at a deli. Ex Oblivione, Rose, they are just getting rolled. Like, there's no other way to put it. Theosaurus, look up the word destroyed. There's a lot of things you could use in replacement of it right now. As Space Station, 125 meters. They might even get a full cap here, in all honesty. They've got the, you know what? They've got the orbital ray, they've got a rally.
Yeah, they've got the ults to do it.
As well.
They definitely have the ults to do it. The Annihilation's gonna make this a little bit tougher, but you do have the rally to be able to contest with that. And now that Landon is dead, you aren't going to see the full cap come through, or at least you should not. You should not see the full cap.
Exactly. Astro, deploy the orbital ray. Luckily, Space Station, though, they did end up saving their rally, so you're pretty happy with that one. Good flank, honestly, from Zoro. Ended up flanking, used the Bob onto Landon. Quick knock off and a quick kill from SXJ. There you go, quick reset. However, for Space Station. But they can just continue to fight mid-rows. I mean, this is what push kind of devolves into, right?
Yeah, they've got a 90-meter lead, so there really is just defense to play around as you go for the Tectonic Shock right away.
Whoa, hello. Captain Prash comes out of nowhere, pops that rally, holding that shield in front of Sky Tour. Now the focus is fully set onto the Brig. Good Vortex usage. KSA ends up just running into that wall, just extend the time in which he's kept alive. Landon also using the rally too, so a trading of Brigitte ultimates. And now where are the picks? That is the question. Cage is going to come in. SXJ invited into it, but looks like Ex Oblivione, they're going to try and crash this party. But that dynamite, and then Backbone Land, you just swinging at him. A quick, concise team kill for Space Station. and a completion in their sights.
Oh, that was honestly a little satisfying to watch. You just saw all 4 kills come up in the elimination feed at the same time. I feel a little bad for Ex Oblivione to have to be on the graphical side of that, but don't worry, we're back in the game. All good. It did not crash the server. We're fine. We might see this map completion here, though.
Too much violence. Nice kill from Backbone, kills Zora. Bob comes through from Sparker as well. Although they're just going to fight inside that orbital array. And even the Bob was benefiting from that damage increase. Skytor, Takuno dead, and that is it, I think, ladies and gentlemen. And it's going to be a full cap from Space Station Gaming on Aruna Sapi, as dominant as ever, in all honesty, as they find themselves a match point.
That was dominance. That was what we sort of expected, though, out of Space Station, and I think anything less would have given us a lot of question marks to whether or not Space Station actually are the best team in EMEA. I know, yes, Circuit Points, yes, they do have one of the stage wins under their belt, too, and we've always touted them as one of the top teams in the region, but I don't think that there can be any doubts after all of the work that they've put in over the course of the season, leading up into DreamHack Stockholm. You want to be confident. Like, yes, that's my team. Those are my players.
Well, I mean, a 3-0 is on the horizon. No points on either side. Although, to be fair, flash push, you could only get 1 point, so, you know. But still, a full capture is also ridiculous. I think Ex Oblivione, coming into this one as well, you're kind of expecting, I would imagine, they're up against some of the toughest opposition that EU has to really offer. You're thinking you're definitely the underdogs. If you maybe take a couple of points here and there, you're feeling pretty happy with yourselves. Still got another chance, though, of course, this being the winner's match. If you do get knocked out here, that being Ex Oblivione, well, you've got another chance to make it into the main event in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, I think that's what a lot of teams, unfortunately, finding themselves in the position of having to face one of these top teams are thinking.
Definitely
it's
today.
Kind of like, oy, it's okay, yikes, we have to play ENCE, we have to play Virtus Pro, we have to play Space Station. Try your best. Use this as practice. Come back stronger for the next match you're going to play, and be okay with the fact that you do get a second chance. You're still coming at it from sort of the winner's side of the bracket. Which is a good leg up to have.
Is that boop? Boom. Bob and the coach gun. Yes, Zoro. Zoro had no control of the character there. Yeah, getting such an early lead on push is so hard to come back from. What, like 100? Oh, here's the almost kills having at the same time. It was the dynamite damage and then just landing swinging the flail. And then Backbone too. And this is the big advantage of the Venture. Venture in general as a character is almost like Tracer in a way. If they can get to the back line, and they're not chunked down, pushed away, booped, something, right? It's just so easy for Venture to kind of run away with the team fight because you're getting so much free damage and there's small bits of CC as well with the drill dash. You've also got your own escape tool as well. Like, you need someone looking at the Venture in order to chunk them out and get them out of the fight. So they have to go for a health pack, get healed, reset. That's just not what was happening at all there. As
well, I mean, Juno has no self-heal either. So, like, she kind of ends up being the perfect target for the Venture to go after. Venture can get the combo, Juno gets deleted, and then with such a major source of healing utility gone, like, that's just easy cleanup for the rest of the team to take out.
Well, Space Station, they're on match point, Rose. A little 2-0 there after a full completion on push. We're going to jump to a break, give the players a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. Space Station, they're back. We're so back. Midtown is the pick here for Ex Oblivione, but after that, well, what would you call it? What word do you want to call it, Rose? After the Runasapi, give me your best descriptive word for a SmackDown.
Oh man, you could pick anything in the Overwatch lexicon. Annihilation, overrun.
Annihilation. Whoa, wait. That's a good one, actually. Overrun. I like that. They were literally overran. The bot ran them over almost. Right? Yeah, so
exactly.
Double meaning. Well, Midtown's the map. Ex Oblivione on the defense with a Space Station on offense. Okay. What do you expect we're going to see from Space Station here? No substitutions either, by the way. So we're keeping Backbone and KSA.
Ooh, well, I feel like it just could be more of the same. Backbone is one of the best mays in the region. I don't see very much of a reason for him to change off of that unless he feels like the Venter is going to get better access to the backline. And then Sparker's Ashe. There's just also very few players that can reach that same type of level. So I don't think we're going to see too many changes for what we ended up seeing on Runasapi, unless they want to get a little silly with it, I guess. They could get a little silly with it.
So we're always getting silly here.
Oh my god. All right, that's a little too close. That one I don't like. That's way too close.
How do you even get in that far? I didn't even know you could do that.
I don't like
We've unlocked the 7th layer of Zoom. All right, well, Backbone's on Torb. Oh boy, Torb Sim. Horrendously large W here for Space Station Gaming.
Wait, no, it's the Ashe. Now it's back to the Ashe, but like the Torbjorn?
Oh yeah.
Oh my goodness.
This is what I'm about right here. Default Overwatch 2 Torb. Kinda goated. Oh, got rolled though by SXJ. Almost got the kill, to be fair, on the May. It was like 1 HP. A bit more RNG on the right click maybe. That would have guaranteed the kill. Is Backbone gonna stick? That is the question. Yeah, looks like it is. Alright, okay. I'm down to clown. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I suppose it's good. Not bad, guys.
Hey, I did say maybe some silly stuff. I don't like it. Yeah, go back to the May, please.
Yeah, first
you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I do think that the Torbjorn could have made some sense if you expected to see a Tracer. Midtown, very good Tracer map. We've already gotten some great examples of that earlier today. So maybe if you wanted to, Torbjorn, could have worked. You didn't see a Tracer though. I think going to the May makes a lot more sense. KSA is also gonna make a switch too to the Malga. So you really are just like running at them. Overrun them down.
For SXJ, that's a ridiculously fast ult. I don't think Space Station are gonna really expect this. Blizzard in the train car as well. KSA, unfortunately, they're dropping over the edge out of LOS of Landon, who is probably there to Suzu.
Okay, back to square one. And it was just the Blizzard. It was just the Blizzard. They still have 4 other ults to play with for Ex Oblivione's defense. And if they can keep being patient and controlled with what ultimates they use, this could be a full hold. We have 2 minutes left. Space Station have been sold for quite a long time in this map already.
Well, there's the orbital ray from Funny Astro. Can Thrash on this high ground there, has to Bastion get away from all that increased damage, but they're gonna use their ray as well. KSA is in the front line right now, just taking so much hurt. Landing there, luckily with Suzu to keep alive. Blizzard is gonna freeze up the bomb and freeze up Skytor. These little homing rockets will end up healing Cam Thrash, who's just way too deep. Trying to look for trades, perhaps. Zora still claims 2, but it's Sakuno now turning tail and running towards the spawn. Looks like Backbone's going to try and look for any information. Space Station are capping, but Ex Oblivione have a chance to come back. They got Annihilation.
Oh, I don't know if they're going to do that, though. Okay, I lied.
Or the wall. Oh, can they freeze him? Oh,
this is
nice.
a bad idea.
All right. Luckily, Skytor didn't end up ripping the ult, but the left click from Backbone slowing them down.
Oh, I just like, I saw the vision, I didn't like the execution because you didn't have any other backup there and you knew that there were going to be May cooldowns. The wall isolated you. The effort was there, but now you're giving up a ton of purchase in the rest of this map. You can see that like Landon's already taking this forward position. You got Sparker as well on the high ground and Cage from KSA. on the high ground.
You can't take that. Like, if you're Ex Oblivione, you have to just 5-person push into the cage. Well, they do end up walling off KSA, forcing him to drop down to low ground. Car is slowly moving now under the car wash.
Patient does it.
Oh, yikes. SHA ends up falling over there to
With the
KSA.
Blizzard.
Yeah, Blizzard in hand too. Gonna wall off that high ground, so Ex Oblivione have to punch their way through it. Zora in the back line though, surprises land and was some couple of shots there. Bob, Cage, Blizzard. Yeah, that'll about do it. That'll about do second point, I think. That's a combination of ultimates of all time.
Oh, you know that there's no coming back from that one either, so it's a fine investment to make 3 minutes, 43 seconds into this third point. Very difficult to actually get that full capture here on this third, and with very little to do that with. It's gonna take a couple of minutes to actually get these ultimates up, but KSA switching over to the Diva. Sees that SkyTour has actually made the pivot over to the Orisa. This Diva will really allow you to help farm that backline. Takuno, Zoro, you better watch out. This Diva's coming for you.
Oh, good wall. Nice wall from SXJ. They do end up trading Maze though. Not the best start. High ground control is going to be really nice for Sparker. It's going to be aided in the fact that KSA can also protect him if he really needs it. Is he just hunting for the Ash currently? Does take a body shot, ends up backing off, doesn't want to get headied. And here comes the rush. Takun's going to respond in kind with a little ultimate of their own. Now Orbital Ray, providing a lot of cover, and look at that. The healing increase there as well is just spectacular. And the damage too. SkyTour goes golden. Trapped between this May block right now. They're going to pop the rally as well. What's happening? They've created their own little fortress of ice. Look on the Lich King. There you go. WoW reference for you. Parker does end up taking down two. SXJ and SkyTour burn to death. 2.5 minutes to go. Space Station Gaming still with a decent time bank and a forward position as well. SkyTour going down is going to give it a lot of free space to Space Station.
Oh, you have so few ultimates to actually come into this one with either. Like, may as well write off the Terra Surge. You're looking at the Bob to at least help extend some of these fights, but the Orbital Ray is coming in first.
Yeah, pretty scary there for Ex Oblivione. They have
everyone's
to
getting
LOS
pushed
this.
back.
And SHJ's in trouble. A good little wall and a block keeps the mate alive. Zora again on the flank. The Bob is going to come through, potentially trying to... Oh, the Bob. Well, that's not exactly where Zora wanted to plant it. Good little whip shot there from Landon to stop that one from being effective. A fully charged up Terra Surge does end up killing the Brig, but look how low SkyTour is. Focused down by Funny Astro and KSA. A good wall there to stop anybody from Ex Oblivione getting back to the points. And with only a minute and 30 to go, it's just SXJ on the Tracer to try and get a final touch. Minute and 27 in the time bank for Space Station. Most importantly, over a minute. So pretty rapid victory there, especially on that last point.
And it is very difficult to capture that third point.
Yeah, especially with time.
Yep. Yeah, that is quite a bit of time to work with. We haven't seen very much of Midtown. That was a treat.
To be fair, we haven't seen past the first point today, so it's nice to see the other parts of the map. They do exist, remember?
Don't worry, the train has not left the station just yet.
Look at that Adonis up there. It's looking like Danny. Damn.
Danny's jacked. I don't know if people know this, but
he's
Danny is absolutely ripped.
Come to Stockholm and you'll find out how ripped Danny is.
That's true.
He's a boulder of a human being. All right, Ex Oblivione on the defense, same thing. And honestly, I liked what I saw from Zoro. Just sometimes it's just Space Station, all 5-man push, right? Zoro a couple of times was able to, even on the second point, jump down, hit Landon in the back a couple of times, take down the Kiriko. But it was almost a little bit too late. Space Station had already played their hand. They made their move already. And it was just Zoro trying to pick up the pieces. And even that Bob too. Luckily, Landon had the foresight. Here's the Bob coming. Here's the whip shot. Bob's ineffective. But Zoro is getting decent positioning. It's just Space Station being a little bit quicker off of the mark. No trolling here from Space Station either on the defense. I'm not seeing Torb, sadly. Just,
No
happy
Tracer.
with the mirror.
No Tracer, no flanks, no Torb. Ex Oblivione are also going to keep to this composition that they've run most of the series, the Ashe, the Mei. I think Mei feels almost mandatory if you're going to end up playing into another Mei. So it makes a lot of sense that they might want to do that. But landing on the Kiriko makes this a little bit more dynamic.
Oh. Whew. Double tap in the head, landing down. SXJ meeting a frosty demise there. That's not exactly the trade that you want, especially with your tanks going down too. If you just keep your Mei alive, you have so much more control in these fights. You can see Ex Oblivione know that. They have to back up. They get a quick respawn, but then again, so do Space Station. The spawn realistically on the defense rows isn't like too far away, so
No.
it's gonna be it's gonna work out in Space Station's favor. So they're gonna be able to regroup at roughly the same time.
Yeah, it feels pretty equidistant, especially knowing that you have the rest of the team to sort of keep that pressure limited from the attacking spawn. Oh no, somebody help Skytor.
Oh yeah, good Vortex too. It's gonna ground Takuno for the time being. Skytor's taking a lot of damage. You could see the idea from Takuno there, just dash around the corner of the ice wall, just get the little healing missiles on him. These walls are so annoying from back road. It's been very frustrating to kind of deal with them. Eventually he is slain. Here comes the orbital ray. This Space Station, they have to get out. If they can escape as 4, they're going to be able to get a free recontest. 2 minutes to go. Ex Oblivione now. 5 people on point.
Yeah, don't forget that you can fire that orbital ray through a building. So
There it is.
great way to get back into the point.
KSA is not getting frozen either. Perfectly positioning himself so the Blizzard's not freezing him as he LOSing the Sobel that whole time. Bob on the point as well for Space Station. They got ults to spare. A wall from Backbone is going to stop that Blizzard, stop the Brig, sorry, from getting onto the point. Blizzard, unfortunately, though, doesn't end up freezing anybody. Unless a little speedering there from Takuno to get everybody out of that small room. Cam Frash Zora end up going down, though, the hands of Landon, who is 1 HP. Literally couldn't be lower. You look at him and he would die. Oh, the Annihilation kind of ripping and roaring through the front line, but Tysus is going to get focused now. You know, luckily picks up the kill onto Backbone, but just the two Ramachos looking at each other, getting permanently healed. One of them will die eventually, I promise you. Eventually, Skytor melees KSA to death as the point is unlocked for Ex Oblivione.
Skytor just needed to remove the biggest problem first, which was the healing that KSA was getting from Langton and Funny Astro. Big switch up here, though, for Space Station. It's going to be to the Brig from Landon and the Mauga from KSA. Mauga's been so effective, and I think this is exactly a good example of this map of like why we have KSA in this roster. Look how quickly KSA is like, okay, no more Ramatra. It's time for Mauga. And no questions. The rest of the team just is on the same page.
Yeah, I really like the Mauga pick against the Orisa. We'll see what Ex Oblivione can do, though. They can transition to this high ground with the orbital ray. Gonna wait for CDs right now. Oh, no, okay. Now you have to reset.
Yeah, that is unfortunate. You also need to back up too, because you knew that wall was coming, and so it was a very smart disengage here from Ex Oblivione. They don't want anybody else to get picked. They were already stalled for quite a long time on that first point, where they only have 2 minutes and 30 seconds left to work with here, and they gotta watch this flank. You see that Sparker?
Kind of nasty.
Landon.
It's got Bob as well. High ground control. They're trying to just take down KSA, but it's proving quite a tough affair. They do end up eventually freezing the Mauga. Can they secure the kill? Ends up stomping off of the high ground. It's just being kept alive. Eventually slain by Cam Prash. But they've already lost Skytor. It was a good Blizzard from SXJ, but somehow, some way, KSA's always able to avoid it. 2 minutes to go. They're in control of the payload rows, but Space Station can have a good recontest with an orbital ray of their own.
Oh, and we're gonna see KSA come out with the Diva, so ensuring that you're gonna be able to get back as quickly as possible. And I think the defense matrix from KSA has been amazing. You also have a little bit better control when you actually end up trying to disengage with something like the blasters. I find that overrun very difficult to actually target your direction.
Yeah, to be fair, the speed ring plus Diva is like a miniature tactical.
Oh my god.
Before they, even after they fixed the speed cap with Diva thrusters. All right, so Aurora's pretty low. There it is. Straight into the back line goes KSA. That payload is not moving either. Ex Oblivione deciding they want to win the fight first, and well, they're not winning it. That is for certain, as Zora ends up going down. Skytor finds himself alone on an island. Eventually they're going to get it going, but with only a minute and 12 seconds to go and a whole lot of ultimates to get through, Space Station, they can just sit back and relax. Maybe not relax for too much longer though, as Landon does end up going down with the rally. Sparker, Bob in hand, running away from Skytor, and here comes the later orbital raid. Cam Crash is already down though, so they've already got one source of healing now. There's going to be a whole lot of it, but Takuno and the rest of Ex Oblivione unable to make good use of that orbital raid. A Terror Surge does end up killing off Backbone in the main, but Skytor's now all alone. On a decent side of the map for the Orisa to be, but there's little to no backup for Skytor, and he's going to get staggered too. This is going to be final fight now for Ex Oblivione to keep themselves in the series.
That is a huge stagger. That's such a big stagger too, because Space Station now get a chance to set up on the high ground. They get a little bit more onus to work with the ultimates that they have. KSA having the Diva Bomb is also big. You know you have an extra life at your disposal on top of the fact that you've got Blizzard, which can be a fight winner, but it's the rally that could be a huge difference maker here for Space Station. Space Station, they're gonna push the pressure. They're going now.
Yeah, look at Ex Oblivione just trying to 5-man push down to slow ground. Backbone's got Blizzard, they got Rally, like you said, Rose. It's going to be such a tough fight. Maybe SXJ's Blizzard can weave its way past this mech. Bob gets deployed onto the bus stop. SXJ's already dead, and there goes the ult. You haven't got it anymore. Even trying to get past the Matrix is hard, but if you're dead, it's impossible to get off. Fun fact. Space Station, they get the Rally going as well, and KSA's just going to put himself on the points. And that will be it. Ex Oblivione go down on Midtown, and Space Station get the 3-0.
Woo! Space Station. Again, just what a stellar performance. I feel like we should come to expect this from a roster, but it was also very clean. All the team fights that they were winning, all of the focus fire that they were putting in, their game plans were very confident, no matter what they were doing. I don't know. Danny, I'm so excited to see KSA back in this roster, back playing Overwatch. Yeah. It was a sad time to see KSA feel like he had to take a bit of a break, but he's back on one of the strongest teams, and
he's back stronger than ever.
Yeah, huge part of it.
And I feel like having KSA just like boosts SSG's power level even more. I feel like
100%.
Right. They could play a lot more comps, and they could be a lot more free, I guess, in whatever strategy they try to go with. So definitely a huge upgrade for SSG, and definitely a very deserving win for SSG. And really, I feel like just like they really proved that they are one of the top teams in the EMEA region.
Yeah, I mean, them, Virtus Pro, and ENCE look like the most dominant team right now, I think. But SSG, with this addition of KSA, Stage 4, you know, Stage 4 is maybe a little bit to prove for them. But not really surprised to see this kind of result. Of course, their place in Stockholm is pretty much guaranteed anyway with 900 points, but a few more points, a bit of extra prize money. No one's really going to scoff at that.
Yeah, it's, you know, I feel like it's the individual, I guess, like skill level, but also SSG just like, you know, they're as a team as well. They're just like one really strong team. You guys get what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, so they're like one cohesive unit. All to work
together.
They're a hive
mind.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. I think that's a perfect way to put it, Danny.
And I also feel like it's, you know, KSA just joining. Well, he just joined very recently, and he just fit right in. And I think that's a huge compliment for KSA as well. Just like, you know, joining to a new team, and doesn't seem like he's, you know, struggling at all, and you know, he's popping off.
Yeah, I mean, that's what you get for joining a team that's very well lubricated, right? Lubricated, oh my word. You are, you know, well oiled up, you know. A team that's been together for such a long time. You slot one small piece in, you're going to fit in at home pretty quickly. Like, he only joined the roster, like, what, 10 days ago or something like that? Like, the team was already gelled together, and it feels like there's no change here, right? It feels like they've been playing together forever. There's a team that you expect is going to do extremely well in this meta as well, because of the backline too. Landon is a fantastic Brig player. Astro, even though he's not a Lucio, he's looking good on the Juno too. Another speed hero, but it's going to be Backbone's our player of the match.
Yeah.
Oh, Backbone is a player that I'm excited to see back as sort of a starting star in the Space Station lineup. I think for a while we were in that hit scan tracer meta where Backbone didn't necessarily have one of the stronger places in the meta, but we know that he's so good on all of these projectile DPS heroes. The Mei, stellar, such a standout. The Venture, though, too, was sort of like the big wow factor for me on this Runasapi map, and a very big asset to why we ended up seeing Space Station actually get the full capture on this map.
Yeah, the Venture is just so annoying to deal with. We kind of talked about it, but the Mei is also extremely strong in this meta, and the team is just very well all-rounded. And it's crazy too because they got Psycho, they got Sparkle, they got a lot in their DPS powerhouse. Another silly hero comes out, Backbone will be learning it and will be mastering it. So
talking about Backbone, Jack, we have him for our first EMEA interview. We got Backbone for a really quick chat for a post-match interview. Backbone, big congratulations on getting the win. I love your. I actually have that. What do you call that? Like that blanket hoodie. I actually got
blanket hoodie.
Never got to use
Very
it.
Comfy.
Never got to use it because it's still kind of hot in LA.
Yeah, no, it's getting cold here now, so I've whipped it out.
Yeah? Hey, you're looking great, man. I'm just gonna start off this interview, dude. Big congratulations on getting the win. I do want to ask you about your newest member of SSG, KSA. What is it like playing with the newest member, newer tank that just joined SSG? How is it? What is it like?
I think it's really interesting because KSA is obviously insanely good. So to have him come in and play with us, it's interesting to see how he sees the game differently to how we would, I guess. It's always a thing you get when you bring a new player in. Like when Psycho and Astra came in, they had things they brought in as well. Because there's tons of things where maybe if we were playing with Hattie, me and Hattie tend to agree on everything at this point after playing together for so long. So KSO come in and just like the fresh perspective, I think is actually really valuable to make sure that you're not, I guess, getting complacent with certain things.
How do you rate the meta for you guys? Because you did struggle last meta. It was really rough for you, but now obviously you're bringing KSA, someone you've spoken to death about, and also your Mei is really sick, funnily enough. It's a pretty good hero for yourself and the rest of the team. Do you think this meta is going to be one of the better ones for yourselves going into the rest of Stage 4?
I think this is the perfect meta for us. I feel like you couldn't really make it much better for us. I mean, it's effectively the same meta from Face It. I mean, Mei is playable. Like the tanks that are like good, except maybe Orisa. I think you're really happy with us on. Even then, I'd probably back us to have a good Orisa if we need to play it, but I don't think we do. Astra is for some reason able to play a hero that isn't Lucio. I think it's just a speed boost.
I know. I was shocked as well. I was like, no way. He's good at other heroes.
But Spark's just him on his scan. Yeah, like, I think it's the perfect meta for us. If this could stay meta for Stockholm, I'd really appreciate it, personally.
That'd be great. I was actually gonna say, if Funny Astra wasn't playing the Juno, would we see Boneback make a reappearance for Space Station and maybe play the Juno instead?
Maybe. You never know. Like it's always there. It's always a possibility.
You know what?
Right,
I would
cross
love
our
to
fingers,
see
maybe.
Boneback back again. That'll be great.
I mean,
but anyways,
was that for EWC?
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
All right, I'm gonna wrap up the interview. We're gonna let you go, Backbone. Thank you so much for the interview, and again, big congratulations on getting the win, man.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great guy. And it's also, I feel like it's also interesting to what he said about having a newer member, giving them, I guess, a different take on the game and like their strategies as well. I think that was very interesting.
Yeah, it's when Astro kind of came into that roster, that core, it's like, okay, they've got a phenomenal Lucio player now, but yeah, it can sometimes change how you like approach different situations and how you approach different metas as well. People do just bring new ideas, and man, this team is going from strength to strength at this point. Like it's still gonna be tough. I still think Ents are probably top of the region, but I mean, Backbone is like backing himself, backing the rest of the team, saying this is the perfect meta for us. I'm like, hey, if it does stay meta, maybe the Korean teams will be quaking in their boots. I don't know.
We'll have to figure. I mean, we'll have to see. I'm definitely excited to see more from SSG. Those are the matches, guys. Let's take a quick look at our Group C bracket, updated Group C bracket. SSG moving up, and now it's gonna be Ex Oblivione. Ex Oblivione. God, what is it so hard to say that word? They're waiting until the match Hypnos and SR Peak Check happens, and then whoever wins that, they will face up against Ex Oblivione. And here is our groups for EMEA Stage 4. Looking pretty good. Any surprises?
Yeah, no shocks there, really. I mean, ENTS, VP, SSG, they're all 2-0. Group D is pretty interesting, though. I think Twisted Minds and Piece of Cake. I rate Piece of Cake quite highly. I think they're going to do very, very well. They're definitely going to qualify in that group, I think. I think both Twisted Minds and Piece of Cake are. I'm also excited to see... Yeah, really nice team names. I'm really excited to see One Man Army continue, see how they do. Maybe against Peps, that rematch might be quite fun if Peps win against Meta Boys.
Yeah, I feel like EMEA is like very interesting region. They're like there's like I mean the top 4 teams. They're pretty much kind of I don't know Jack. You said that it's gonna be ENTS is probably like on top, but I feel like they're pretty even compared to other regions.
I think on good days, like each of those teams can take maps and games off of each other, and I think the 3 like top dogs, like that's where you want to be punching into. But thing is, there's the 3 spots right for EU, so
it's true.
Those 3, someone has to upset one of them at some point. Like it can happen. And VP, they are lower in terms of points right now, and he's sitting at like 500 or something. So there's a chance that VP get upset, but they still look super good.
Yeah.
I think Piece of Cake. I'm putting my hat in the ring for Piece of Cake. I actually think that they might have a chance to sneak into like top 4, top 3. We haven't seen a whole lot of them yet, and obviously it's a retooled roster of some of the pieces from Gaming Gladiators with a couple of others. I don't know. I'm just stirring the pot a little.
Exciting. Yeah, no, I feel like EMEA is a definitely interesting and very exciting region. All right, we had 3 really great matches today. So we're gonna take a look at some of the best moments from all the matches that were played. Let's take a look at the first one. Best play number 1 from EMEA is Sky's the Limit. Oh, nice title. Sky 3K nice. On Juno. I mean, yeah, we're gonna see a lot more of Juno players.
Yes.
I feel like a good
very
Juno
powerful
player.
hero.
Yeah. Yep.
Very, very strong, funnily enough. And when you're using the orbital ray as well, and you just hop up on your, you just like glide in the skies, and then your little pulsar torpedoes just annihilate everybody. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
Another play.
Oh, this one was my favorite.
Yep.
Oh,
Top Dragon, your favorite player. Top Dragon.
Yeah. That was sick, man. Look at it. It's like, the good tracers don't need to look behind them to see if the pole's connected, Don't need to see that explosion. Like, it's so... And he's blading too, which is also just absurd.
Can you do that, Jack? Without looking?
No, absolutely not.
All right. All right, our last best play is, of course, Sparker headshot on Runa Soppy. This guy, Sparker, the GOAT. Never misses.
He is him.
He is him.
He is him. He's so good at taking these off angles.
Oh my god.
Like, you're never gonna get the jump on him. I feel like most of the other teams, even if you're trying to take that health pack, Sparker's gonna beat you to the punch, and you also end up having Landon to help you. So.
True. I wish I could hit like that. Maybe next life.
I believe next stage, Danny. I mean, next year is your year.
Yeah?
You're gonna be up there. I guarantee it, bro.
Thanks, Jack.
You'll be hitting shatters like the best of them, Danny. You'll be hitting shatters like Hardy does, I believe.
Not gonna happen. Maybe next life. But hey, I could be hopeful. All right, where are we going? Oh, schedule, everybody. We got, this was day 2. We got day 3 tomorrow of EMEA region. We got all these matches. Any favorites from you guys?
Oh, that first one. Yeah, Twisted Minds versus Piece of Cake.
Yep.
It's perfect. It's going to be a really sick game. I think I'm with you there, Rose, as well. I think Piece of Cake, they do have a really good opportunity. Maybe snipe that spot away from VP. That first game is going to be one to tune in for.
True. Sure. A lot of matches being played, and also a lot of important ones as well. So guys, tune in tomorrow to find out who gets a win tomorrow for all those matches. All right, any last words from you guys? Rose, Jack, anything you guys want to say?
NA's coming up soon. Don't go anywhere. It's gonna
Bye.
be
There you go. I don't have to say it anymore. Thank you, Jack.
There you go. Wow, look at that.
All right, Jack and Rose, thank you so much for casting all those 3 matches. See you guys soon. And everyone, we're gonna go to a quick break, and then when we come back, it's gonna be NA. See you soon.